بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد. The worst God worshipped beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one's whims, is oneself. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال in few ayat of the Quran reminding such aspects. قال ومن أضل ممن اتخذ إلهه هواه. If there's more astray than the person who took his own lust, his own whims to be his own idol and God. Because the idols or the system, corrupted system, are forged and made by the human being, by their own whims. So they want to justify, validate whatever they desire to get, and they make it into a way of a creed, and then becomes the system of worship. The people of Quraysh, they have almost 360 gods. There's 60 gods, with these 360 gods, they're serving the leaders and defining the social order. Who did it? Are these people. So they were worshipping, in fact, themselves. Yusuf alayhi salam, قال, what you worship? أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم. This is names that you have invented, you and your fathers. When we're talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His beautiful name has a reality, has an existence. When you say Ar-Rahman, you see the manifestation of the mercy all over the creation. When you say Al-Qahhar, when you say Al-Razzaq, subhanahu. But any other God that they claim, they do not have like mere names, but does not have any reality or existence behind this name. Therefore, the worst to be worshipped is oneself. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ. Have you seen the one who took as his own whims or her own whims their God? So subhanallah, when a person does such a thing, he will be punished. And the punishment comes from within actually. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala لا يظلم أحدا. Allah does not transgress or be unjust to anyone. So this punishment that يصير ختم على السمع والقلب وغشاوة على البصر. Three things that subhanallah cause, or like as a result of this aspect, as the result of this stepping into worshipping oneself. And of course, no one thinking that they do worship themselves, but actually this is what it means when someone follows their whims and put, the priority to all their dreams, when these dreams, they conflict with the ultimate, purpose of one's life, then the worship is the worship of the hawa. So, ختم على السمع وختم على القلب وغشاوة على البصر. Seal on the hearing, seal on the heart, and cover on the eyes. And this means that the light of the guidance will not be able to get to the heart. So someone is fully astray. And once this person is astray, so he's going down subhanallah, down and down into the darkness to become a person that will be, let's say, distant to hellfire, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, while this person is still walking on this planet Earth. قَالَ فَمَنْ يَهْدِيهِ. Who's going to be able to guide them after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Don't you be reminded? أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. And He told us about this type of people. He said, this is our life. We live and we die and that's it, Who going to be killing us or cause us to extension is time. And you see them, this is what subhanallah, the creed that spread into the world today and in our society is this type. This time, people, they live, enjoy, and that's it. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ. Entertaining and enjoying and such a thing. One of the things that all of us share into this aspect, that's why it's very important for us. And in these remaining nights of Laylatul Qadr, we are all invited to renew our ahd with Allah. our ahd with Allah. What is the ahd? It's your oath that you have between you and Allah. You said, I am a believer. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, then we have an ahd. There's an oath between us. So in Ramadan is the renewal of the oath. So are you able to renew the oath in the good term to be near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or someone will be distracted, enjoying Ramadan, but not truly trying to change or to reset and restore that relation between him and his Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. The renewal of the oath is the renewal of the iman, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala qala ishtara, He has purchased from you your life and for striving in His sake, and also your wealth. Everything that Allah gave you should be dedicated and destined for serving the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in serving the way of Allah, you're going to be honored, you're going to be joyful, you're going to have happiness and tranquility and so on. Today people, they look at life and they live their life through a very narrow window. Very narrow window. A window can be for a person, all what he thinks about is to finish their studies, get degree. Therefore the whole life, all what they live for is these studies. So the windows that they dedicate their life in, it's their study. It becomes like the worship, subhanAllah, in the worship of this dream. And then this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us. This person, he's, worshipping himself. You find the person, all their dedication is for fame. They fame, they do the classes for that, they do acting classes, they pay money, they work so hard, many jobs, to be able to access to some, things. They make connection, and you see them all of their life. And you know very well what I'm talking about. People, you find them dedicated to business. People find them dedicated to politics. So whatever they choose as a dream becomes like the window through which they see the life. And then this whole life be confined and restricted in that very narrow window. And subhanAllah, totally, distracted from the real world out there. The believer, if he will be like that, then will be worshipper of ourselves. For this reason, the Prophet ﷺ, when Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu came in that night and find him in tears, and he told him, Ya Rasulullah, why you are doing this for yourself? You know the hadith, he said, should I not be a grateful servant? And then he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tonight I have, it been revealed to me this ayat, the end of Surah Al-Imran, about pondering in the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, woe to the one who read them and he will not ponder on them. Woe, which is mean like threatening, which is mean if we will not open our eyes and our heart to the big world around us, and this is, we've been talking about it now, yesterday, I believe, also in this same perspective, because we are required to renew the oath with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's very important, because when you think of the reality of this world, part of it is hellfire, part of it is paradise. Therefore, renew your oath with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in consideration of the certainty of what you know about the reality of this world. When we do such a thing, it helps you to avoid to have the seal in the ears and the seal in the heart. It avoids you. When you ponder on the creation and you look at it and you see how great and precise, and you look at its purpose, then you're going to say the first dua that you say, you're going to say, Ya Allah, shield me from the hellfire. That's what Allah told us. الَّذِينَ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And then يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوب ويتفكرون ربنا ما خلقت هذا. Oh Allah, you didn't create this for vain, for nothing. فقنا عذابنا. They ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate purpose, shield us, Ya Allah, from the hellfire. You see, connection. For this reason, opening our heart and our mind to look big, to live big, and living big is beyond this planet Earth. Is beyond this restriction of the dreams that we have. Because even dunyawi dreams, you can make it a big dream. Because your dream is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can make whatever, study, business and everything, but all within that subhanAllah sphere of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you're going to be a righteous person who's very active in this life and successful also in the worldly life. Luqman alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned how he had his advice to his child. Look what he said to his son. The first thing is to open his mind, to help him see the whole universe from the big picture. He didn't tell him pray and do this in a very confined, restrictive way. No. قال يا بني. This is the first thing after the non-shirk, which is that the base and the core and the foundation. قال إنها إن تكو. In anything like a grain of mustard or like an atom is like hidden inside a stone, whatever you can imagine in this earth, or will be whatever in this earth hidden, or in the heaven, Allah will bring it forth. This is, subhanAllah, the teaching to open the mind, to open the heart, to see big, to see the creation. That's what is going to give you the izzah. That's what's going to give you the power in your heart. You are with the one who has all this creation, the one who had the whole power, the one who had the all knowledge, the one who has subhanahu wa ta'ala, he had the power of subjugating everything, all the creation. إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْقَهَّارُ وَالْحَكِيمُ الْخَبِيرُ. This is what is going to help you. But when you always look at small dreams, only that, then you're going to be very, subhanAllah, careless about this big word, and then you're going to invite that seal to be into your heart. If you have that seal, you will never be able to have khushu' in salah. Never. Why? Because you are in a very small world, already you invited that seal to be in your heart. Musa alayhi salam, when Fir'aun was telling him, Fir'aun thinking that he is God, قال ما, who is your Lord? قال رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين. The Lord of the heaven and the earth. So he made him to look big. That's why he was like bewildered, he was like confused. And the other ayah, قال ربنا الذي أعطى كل شيء خلقه ثم هدى, the one who gave the creation for everything, and then he gives his guidance, which means include you, ya Fir'aun. You see, for these ayat help us to reflect and help us to really change the way how we step into this world, how we think about our life, and how we think about let's say reiterating our oath with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the Luqman, the story of Luqman, or the way how Luqman alayhi salam was addressing to his son, how Musa alayhi salam was doing that. And you can see all the adiyah that we mentioned, some of them yesterday, into the Khatira of the prophets, and many of adiyah, and look at the adiyah of the Prophet. And this is how someone, the believer, should be. Therefore, we're saying that open up to the absolute existence around you. That's how the way you will be able to avoid that seal in the heart. To avoid that seal in the heart. Because remember, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this ayah, أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ أَضَلَّهُ اللَّهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ وَخَتَمَ عَلَى سَمْعٍ. So if you go to that path, then we're inviting the seal. The only way to cleanse that seal is in this looking out and pondering in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited us to ponder. And the best way to do it is through the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to soften our tongue for the dhikr. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to instill the, let's say, the habit of the dhikr, to be from the dhakireen and to be from the munibeen, and to be able, insha'Allah ta'ala, to be aware that we need to change or review our oath and renew our oath with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially that we're going to be soon in Laylatul Qadr. And today also we have, inshallah, the opportunity to have Laylatul Qadr, inshallah ta'ala, ya Rab. inshallah to the salah. Wa jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu feekum. Tfaddal.